I'm in Huntsville today. It looks like a marvelous evening. The temperature is not too hot. We're in Texas. But behind me, a man is being executed by the state of Texas behind those red walls for a horrible crime he committed in 2001. He's being executed today, 26th of June 2024. There are a few dozens of people that gathered in front of this unit, and I wanted to meet them and ask them why they thought it was important to be here today. Let's go and meet them.
I am part of the Texas Abolition against the death penalty. I'm also here as a Christian because Jesus preached forgiveness. He taught forgiveness and love. And I don't think that anyone has the right to judge another man. Not only that, only God can create the spark of life, and only God has the right to take it away. Another thing that I would like to address right now is that this execution is not going to give the victim's family closure. Grief doesn't work that way. This execution will only create more victims. Ramiro has family that love him. And when they execute him, his family is going to start a grieving process that they will never get over. I've seen this from both sides. I've seen, I know someone that was murdered, and I also know the child of a man that was executed here in this prison, William Marcel Shannon. His daughter to this day doesn't get over it, and it's a stigma that she is going to have to live with for the rest of her life. That's why I'm here.
My heart hurts. I mean, the pit of my stomach hurts. This is hard. This is really hard to know that we have state-sanctioned killing in this building right behind us. You know, why? It doesn't make any sense. And I was telling a story about it'll be 3 years, I think, in September, when my cousin was brutally murdered. And when it first happened, he was just 17. When it first happened, what was my first response? I want them to kill his murderer. His mother had a sister, and his mother's sister's daughter and grandbaby was one of the most brutal killings I've ever seen. And her first thing was, kill him. But now, she doesn't even want the murderer of her son or those murderers killed. I can say the same thing, because number one, murdering is not going to bring them back. And we can't, what did she say? Why are we killing to stop killing so people won't kill again? That is ludicrous. Right now, I hurt. And I didn't know it was going to affect me like this. I had no idea I was going to hurt this hard. So, I'm sorry, but my daddy said, never say you're sorry, just say regrets for crying. But it hurts. It truly, truly hurts to know that they're killing somebody. And it's okay. And for them, life goes on until the next one, I think in July and August, whatever. So I just wanted to share that because I didn't know I was going to feel like this.
My name is Reverend Huayong. I'm a Buddhist monk. I live and work, do prison ministry over in the Polunsky unit in Livingston. As a monk, our very first precept is not to harm any living being, any sentient being at all. And so I've been in contact. I used to go up to a federal prison and this prison over in Polunsky as well, but now it's just only Polunsky. The only ones I see are the guys on death row.
So So you see them on a regular basis?
Yeah, ministers are allowed visits on Tuesdays and Thursdays only. So those are the only 2 days I can get in there and visit the guys. I am a Vietnam vet, and I have seen things that you don't want to see. And then when I became a monk, it all cemented my beliefs. And so I'm here to let people know that what's going on right now is not right. It's against the law. The state has no lawful means or reasons for killing someone. They don't. Look it up.
My name is Julie Rinker, and I'm here along with my son, Ramiro. And we are here today from Dallas in order to say that we think it's wrong. This event that's taking place is wrong because in America, whether you receive the death penalty depends a great deal on where the crime takes place and whether or not you have the money to pay for a lawyer. And it shouldn't be like that. It's not administered fairly, and I'm here to say I think that's wrong.
And why, according to you, there are not more people here?
People need to learn more about this. If people were willing to spend time to learn about it, as I have, I think they would be here. The death penalty is not what people think it is. The more I've learned, the more I've realized this is an opportunity to stand up and say, this isn't right. And this is happening to people in poverty, and this is happening to non-white individuals far more frequently than it's happening to those with money or with the means, and that's not right.
My name is Miranda Uribe. I recently graduated from Southern Methodist University in Dallas. I majored in human rights and African American studies, and my work pertains to working towards the abolition of the death penalty. I work with the Texas People's Tribunal. We're a nonprofit organization in the state of Texas that works to educate the public on lethal violence in the state, along with educating the uneducated and the people who are not too well versed in death penalty information, to just give them the facts rather than have people think that they know what they're talking about. I think it's really important to be here to bring awareness to those on death row. Not everyone on death row is innocent, but no one should be killed for a crime they committed years ago. I think today we've seen a lot of people talk about how much Ramiro has changed, and everyone changes through life. And I think it's important to give second chances and to allow people to live. I think that's part of our rights in the Constitution, is the right to life. So I focus on that.
Is there something else you would like to add?
Yes, with my work at SMU, I was able to create a podcast called Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Advocacy. I interview advocates, both young and older, within my own community, around the state of Texas and around the country. We're on season 2. We took a little bit of a break, but we'll be coming back, and season 3 will be focused on people, advocates for the abolition of the death penalty. I also am in the middle of writing a cookbook with the recipes of all the people who have been executed in the states since 2020.
What do you mean their recipes?
So in almost every state except for Texas, the people who are being executed are granted a last meal. And with that, I will take that meal and I will make a recipe. And I'm trying to get in contact with some family members to see if there's a specific recipe that they enjoyed from their past, and give some information about the case and who they were as a person.
Well, it's challenging to be eating while talking about death row, which is something that doesn't make you want to enjoy your food, right?
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. Nothing about the death penalty is enjoyable, but it's very important for us to fight for the abolition.
I read many of the people who will be executed ask for a cheeseburger as a last meal. Is it true?
Yes, lots of cheeseburgers, lots of Kentucky Fried Chicken, pizza, that's a big one. I think very home style food that they are not able to access within the walls of a prison.
Because death row is not a prison like other prisons, but over there the food, like all the conditions, are pretty horrible, right? Can you tell a few words about this and maybe remind that some people stay dozens of years sometimes on death row?
Yes, yeah, people are on death row for, on the average, I think it's 18 to 20 years before they're executed. So they truly forget what it's like to eat outside food from McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut. So this last meal is their last chance to get a little bit of reality. They are struck with horrible conditions, and especially in Texas, the heat is brutal. So for them, some people, their last meal is their last chance of humanity that they're given. But in the state of Texas, they do not allow a last meal. They're only served prison food.
What do you mean?
In every state except for Texas, they are granted a last meal, which can be up to $40 of whatever type of food that they want. And so, like I said, many people want Chick-fil-A or Kentucky Fried Chicken or pizza. But in the state of Texas, they took away the right to a last meal. Someone, I can't remember his name, ordered so much food, surpassing the $40 limit, and didn't eat any of it to make a mockery of the state of Texas, and to prove to them that the last meal isn't really much, especially since they're taking their life. So in the state of Texas, the last meal of these inmates who are being executed is just regular prison food, nothing special.
Can you tell me who you are and why you are here at every execution?
Well, my name is Gloria Ruback, and I'm here because I oppose all executions, but I think today is so sad because Ramiro has obviously changed his life and become such a different person. I mean, he was a messed up kid. And for them to kill somebody like that, it doesn't make sense. If they just kept him in prison forever, he could help other prisoners adjust and learn and keep their humanity while they're locked up. He's very well loved by all of the guys. I've heard so many good things about him, and it's just very sad that somebody who is totally different is being murdered when he's not a threat to anybody.
And tell me, how do you keep that energy to come back at every execution, to have so few people with you, but you still come back again and again?
Well, because I made a promise in 1993 when I witnessed a friend's execution. And back then, there was no victim's family. So he and I were in the same room talking until he died. And the last thing his name was Carlos Santana. And the last thing Carlos told me, he said, "Gloria, just promise me you won't stop fighting the death penalty." And I said, "Carlos, I promise. I keep my promises." So, and I'm fortunate because I've been retired since 2008. But even before that, I taught school, so I got out of work early enough that I could be here. Most people, and Houston is an hour and a half away, so most people who oppose the death penalty are at work until 5 o'clock. But I've been able to have a job, and now I'm retired, so I can be here. And I very rarely am not here. So, but I thank y'all for being here. That's great. Because, you know, this is a Texas thing. I mean, there's been 1,500 or more executions in the United States, but we're almost up to 600 in Texas. So it's a United States issue, but it's also a Texas issue. But people all over the world are wondering what in the world is going on in Texas. So I thank the news media from everywhere for looking into what's happening.
And do you think this Texan specificity makes the state safer?
Of course not. Of course not. If somebody needs to be locked up, Texas has a lot of prisons. A lot of people need mental health care and drug abuse care as well. So give people treatment or lock them up, but you don't have to kill anybody. That doesn't make anybody safer. It creates a whole nother set of victims. I've witnessed 2 executions, and I know I had nightmares about it, and I wasn't even family. But if my child had been executed, I'd probably never get over it. Just like the mother of this victim tonight. She's happy that there's an execution. She misses her daughter, and I understand that. But no, executions don't make anybody safe. No way.